is a quick video on how to use the sheet metal spot welder over in the Tyler metal shop. Bear with us, the forge is on in the background, so the audio levels might be a little funny. First thing to note is that this is for joining relatively thin material. The general operation, right now it's unplugged, but you can check this out from the tool crib. The general operation is that you have some relatively thin sheet metal material, and such as this, and what we're going to do is basically pinch it together in those two pinchers there, and then some electrical current will come in and basically fuse those two pieces of material together. So the dry run here with the machine unplugged is you raise and open those two little pinchers with this lever here, and then once you have your material pinched in place, like so, pressure, you would basically push this little trigger either this way or this way for a moment, and the current is on, the welding electricity is on for as long as you're holding that down. So for thicker material you hold it a little longer, for thinner a little shorter. So use your judgment there. You just don't want to kill it. It's really only a moment, a fraction of a second is usually all you need. Sometimes you need it for about maybe a 1 count for like a solid second or so. Things to note is that the machine uses 220 electricity, so we've got a power cord wrapped up in here with the machine. Always remember to wrap up your cords nice and neatly. But notice that the plug is a little different, so there's two places in the shop that this outlet will go into, and one of them is behind the bandsaw here. And so I'll unravel a little bit of cord, and pardon me while I'm tethered to the camera, you'll have to follow along with me. And so behind the bandsaw here there's a 220 outlet, and we'll get this guy plugged in back here. So now we've got some power. Let's try and do a couple of spot welds. So maybe I'll get the trigger and the pinchers in place in the shot here. Here's our test pieces. We're get welded. Make sure your material is clean. You know, you don't want it to be full of rust or other grit. You got to make sure that it actually fits flat with itself. And then I've just got a pair of light gloves on here to protect myself from the sharp edges, but you don't need welding goggles or anything. So here's a momentary zap here, and then our piece is joined. So now we've got a pretty simple spot. Now, most locations, you're really just going to need 2 spots welded, and that'll hold your piece well enough. So it's just a quick little zap. Wear safety glasses, of course, and some light gloves. And then if you're making some kind of like a tube form or ring form, you can imagine that these larger pinchers are good to get around larger items. So for example, here's an item here, and if we were going to join these, as long as you're wearing gloves, you can kind of hand on it, but this thin material welds pretty quickly. If it was a little thicker, you might need to hold it for a moment longer, but not really long at all. So spot welders really make quick work out of joining some thin material like this. If you ever wanted to undo a spot, you know, less is more in this scenario, so you don't have to undo a bunch of things, but you just drill out those little areas with a drill bit by hand. It's a little tedious, but generally speaking, just use enough of the spot welds as you need for your given part. We do have a couple of other options on here hanging, so if you need to adjust any of these tongs, so shorter tongs are available here, and a wrench to adjust how much force that guy clamps down on. The main thing you want to make sure is, before you use this machine, is that these pinchers here are in good shape, they're not covered in gook, and that they actually line up, that they're not, you know, off to one side or another. You don't want them sort of pinching like that or like that. You want them to be meeting nice. And if there's any issue with the machine, just alert our shop technician. Don't try and fix this or go wrenching around on it on your own. But we do keep the equipment with it, some of the equipment with it, just so that we don't lose it. But that doesn't mean that you should be making adjustments to this guy. So simple spot welder demonstration over in the Tyler metal shop. Don't use this equipment unless you've been cleared on it by your instructor or the technician. Always ask questions.